YouTube unsubscribes people with every movie that I upload. So be sure to check to see if you're still subscribed, like, and donate at freeourworld.org. When I uploaded Reptilian shapeshifter movies to YouTube starting in 2013, I was buzzed by helicopters day and night. I had all of a sudden black SUVs and other vehicles following me on the street, police cars lighting up their sirens and zooming around me to the point that I bought a dash camera to record it, and that stopped, but the aerial harassment kept up. It's called targeting or gang stalking, as it's commonly referred to. And it was all for uploading these Reptilian shapeshifter movies. By the way, I had no other political content and no other law breaking, no record of criminal offenses whatsoever. I led a boring life up until then. I discovered the subject of Reptilian shapeshifting, and I got this incredible assault from the police and other unmarked vehicles and everything, totally alerting us to the fact that we have non-humans that are in control, and if you go to expose them, they will try to destroy you. I believe that they sent 3 different times they tried to kill me over this, okay? But I can tell you that this aerial harassment is real. A lot of people ask me questions, you know, do you live near an airport? Don't you know there's a lot of aircraft in LA? I've lived in LA all my life. I'm 52 years old. I know what I'm talking about here. This is very odd, very weird. You would know it for sure if these helicopters were buzzing you, because right away, all of a sudden when I uploaded my first shape-shifting analysis movie to YouTube, I had helicopters hovering over my apartment in Woodland Hills like there was a drug bust nearby, like right in my building. And then, like I said, I had helicopters and whatnot flying overhead, like day and night, buzzing. It's just incredible. I mean, it even took me like 60 days to like fully realize it was happening. But I'm showing this to you, friends, if you haven't seen it, so that you will know before YouTube deletes my channel for some technical reason, because they hate me. They're constantly attacking, constantly finding violations. If I post anything like with alternative medicine or anything else, or you know, anything they can call hate speech, and I'm not a hate speech person. I just post videos of interesting clips when I find them. But some people, they get offended and they have all these policies against it. And they can attack you day and night. But I'm just telling you, friends, that these non-humans are real. There's a whole bunch of them. See my channel. The reptilians are the main ones, but there's also insectoids. And our society is under complete non-human control. We're living in like a Matrix lockdown, like a sci-fi movie that you couldn't believe is true unless you experienced it for yourself. And a lot of people, it's so dark, they do not want to think about this information. So here is the more gang stalking that I got. This is gang stalking that I get at my home. I have an RV that I live in, and this is out of the skylight that where they pass over. And when they're doing this, occasionally you could mistake one as being one, but for the most part when it is a gang stalk. And by the way, a lot of them are holograms. Buzz in progress, buzz in progress. It goes right over here, direct overhead, direct overhead. That's a buzz, that's a buzz. Here comes a buzz, here comes a buzz. They've been building up for a while. You can hear the sound. There he goes.
And then later on, there was another, with that faction, there was another being that we hunted down, which is in the photo that I sent you with just the head. We were in like this jungle setting, and this being was hiding in the mountains, in these rocky mountains up in this jungle. And we finally tracked him down, and he had this ability to like subdue us, like subdue beings. So this is an actual photo. They did an interview, and that interview was taken down. But those kids that are in the background, they were actually playing. So we had to cut through this area where they were living. These people were living to get to that being. And you can tell like his eyes are sunk into its head, because of the decay and stuff. They obviously didn't put it on ice.
And it's like heroin or like endorphins, and it's much stronger. But what they need is, for it to be secreted in the blood, is they need terrorization of their victims before they are killed for their blood. And they have to terrorize them to get this to come out in the blood and be secreted in the blood.
Is this the what other people have told me about, that at the point of great terror, like the point of sacrifice, there's an adrenaline that enters the bloodstream? Is this what they're looking for?
Yes, that and this other element comes and secretes out through the blood. This all comes out through the blood at that time, and it's at that point they are actually staring into the eyes of the head of at some of these rituals, or at a reptilian. They are staring into the eyes of this person, and they're held. It's a hypnotic gaze these reptilians have, and it holds the victim in an absolute trance, in a trance of terror, and then they are killed at that moment as they are staring into their eyes. And not only do they can't hold their shape when this happens. The
human shape.
The human shape they cannot hold. They go back into reptilian shape as this is happening, because it's like an animalistic type of excitement of the kill.
Helicopter approaching for a buzz. There he goes. This is a buzz, this is a buzz for uploading Reptilian shapeshifter movies to YouTube, Reptilian exposure to YouTube, and social media. Buzzing helicopter, buzzing helicopter. It's probably a hologram, thought-based buzz. It's gonna go for a continuous circle around.
You know, honestly, I've never believed that some reptilian race is running this show, because, like, that'd be freaking crazy. But lately, I've been actually questioning it, because you guys act like reptiles.
But my sister visited Earth in Kandahar, in underground bases there, and she likes to call Earth the buffet. And she said that she ate about 12 different humans when she was visiting here. You have to remember, these beings are billions of years more or millions of years more advanced than we are, and they consider human beings as lower beings, so they think that they should be able to eat them. Reptilians also eat other different types of beings, not just humans. And just like how we eat cows and chickens and pigs because we think they're lower than us, so they just, that's their perception on humans. So they just come here and feast, and they go back to their fourth dimension or whatever planet they're in, the third dimension, and then they do their thing. So
Okay, so here's this guy here, and he's doing what's called a hover nearby, and I think this is in response to my last video. "775, who does the earth belong to? Who shall live forever in the earth?" So yeah, it's no joke, guys, with these reptilians. They really are, see, they feel that the earth belongs to them.
I actually met raptors, the subterranean indigenous reptoids on planet Earth, who are from here. They developed here, they evolved here, and they've been living underground for a very, very long time.
Tell me more about the raptors and their legal authority.
Well, they've been here longer than we have, so their legal authority is a bit bigger and a bit broader. So in order to have a larger authority for investigative powers that they wanted to give me, it was important to essentially go through that process for me to swear, promise, sign, thumbprint to them so that I was sanctioned under their legal authority, under their legal umbrella, which was bigger than the legal umbrella that my people were able to give me.
The visitors are not our friends. They've come to rape our planet and kill us. They are not who they appear to be. This is not science fiction.
This is Buzz. This is Buzz. We're uploading Reptilian shapeshifter movies to YouTube. Your taxes for direct overhead helicopter psychological warfare, for exposing reptilians that have the total rule over this planet. Stalking for uploading Reptilian shapeshifter movies to YouTube. So they do continual flyovers of helicopters, letting me know in advance with this like the noise humming, so you can hear it from a distance.
I had an office in the radar tower. It was the first office on the second floor in the back. Next to my office was another office, and I remember, I swear on a stack of Bibles, I remember a lizard man in that office. It was His Highness Draco something, I can't remember the other name. And he was about 6 foot, 7 foot tall, had sort of like scaly skin, humanoid. He walked erect like we do. He had 2 arms, 2 legs. He had a tail, but it really didn't show most of the time. He had somewhat of a humanoid face, strange eyes, a big mouth, and, you know, looked like what you would expect if you're going to put together a lizard man.
Thought-based buzz, thought-based buzz. It's interesting how when I'm thinking certain thoughts, there it goes, black and white. Tape. Enemy helicopter coming in as I'm listening to Al Bielik. The noise sounds like it's directly overhead. It's in the Woodland Hills area. July 2nd, 2022 at 10:07 p.m.
But in fact, I made a shocking discovery by stepping back and looking at more of the photograph. I found that the beams on the edge, as I'm calling the 2 figures because they're on the edge of the plateau, are sitting atop a large rock carving of a reptile biting the neck of a human being. You can see that in the picture on top. There's the profile of a snake or reptile, and he's reaching over and biting the neck of a bearded male human. And there's blood issuing across the chest of the human figure that forms the larger pedestal for this figure, which has been so widely publicized. Then I found something even more disconcerting. I found that beyond the statue, in the arroyo to the west of the Home Plate Plateau, lies a field of humanoid bodies. We haven't counted them, but there are at least hundreds of humanoid forms that are laying on the ground, and they seem to be in fact, corpses. In different parts of that killing field, that debris field of human bodies, serpents can be seen both slithering across the bodies and poking their heads up from within this Martian killing field or cemetery grounds or whatever, in fact, it ends up ultimately being.
And they use a lot of druidic holidays to do this, but they have other days too. They've mixed all of these satanic and what are called satanic holidays and druidic holidays, and in order to have these rituals, which ritual seems to be important to them. But they also use it in order to drink this blood, but they seem to need more.
Here he comes again. Coming around for another pass, so this is more buzzing at night in my RV by reptilians, because they know that I know about them. These are reptilians. I'm shooting through the skylight of my RV. It's July 3rd, and I recently posted another reptilian shapeshifter video showing these non-humans that are apparently in charge of our human world. So you notice the turn, so they can go for a direct overhead, psychological warfare to try to isolate me, minimize me for uploading the truth of our non-human overlords, which actually consume human flesh and blood on a regular basis. They feed off of us the way we feed off of chickens and cows. And they, of course, don't want humans to know. This is why they use mind control to control all of our leaders in all of the nations, friends. To every person that can hear my voice, all of the nations are under mind control. We are like little children to them that have no idea of the technology that they have to control minds and reality. Total dominance control. Helicopter approaching. Here he is. Going for a buzz. This is a buzz, this is a buzz. Here's a buzz, here's a buzz. For uploading reptilian shapeshifter movies to YouTube. Direct overhead. Audio only.
So it would be the school, and then there would be a playground, and then there would be this church that was behind it. So there was one day the door was open, and I walked up the steps into this church and walked in, and there was these I did an image, but basically there was these 3 reptilians that were there, and they were holding a chalice, and they were talking back and forth with whoever this, I think he was like a pastor or whatever, but they were basically doing a blood ritual, and they were drinking blood and stuff. And these reptilians saw that I walked in, and they were like, hey, they were like, have them leave, or basically they were talking about eating me next, but they were in the interaction with this guy, and he was like, no, I'll take care of it. And these three reptilians like walked into this back room. And when they did, I had sat down in one of the pews, and he had walked up to talk to me, and he was like, hey, and he's like, what did you see? And I was like, I didn't see anything. And he was like, good. He's like, that's a smart move. You're a smart kid, aren't you? And I was like, I don't know. I just didn't see anything, man, because I was scared shitless, because they were really reptilians. And I'm like, fuck, dude, that freaked me out. So
our human spirit is corrupted. Why do we worship greed? Because outside the limit of our sight, feeding off us, perched on top of us from birth to death, are our owners. Our owners. They have us. They control us.
This is a war on religion. This is a war on the children. They kill the cure with the sickness. This is a war on tradition. This is a war on religion. This is a war on the children. They kill the cure.